I'm raising children. I'm not raising black men, I'm raising men. And whether you are black or you are white, no matter what race that you are, there are certain things about being a man and being a good man when it comes to character and integrity and safeguarding the helpless and sticking up for those who need it and being a good man of reputation. None of that has to do with skin color.
Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. Now, Mike Chandler has been trending this week. He's been catching steam online by Black Twitter. And what's the reason? Yep, you may have guessed it by now. He decided to adopt black children. So Black Twitter have been steamrolling him online. And before I get into my views on this topic, let's see what he has to say and let's see the reasons for what he's done and, you know, his motive. Real quick before I play the video, I'm all for adoption, absolutely, but what's your incentive? We get a lot of wokies that go to Africa, a lot of celebrity wokies that go to Africa to adopt black children and bring them to America to show that, hey, I'm woke. You know, if you're adopting for those reasons, then of course you're not adopting for the right reasons, and I would have to question your integrity for the child. But if you're adopting based off of principles, based off of, you know, you're not looking at the kid in any way, shape or form of where he's coming from or she's coming from, like from being from Africa, and you're just adopting out of, you know, a kind nature of your own, and you want to give back and you want to help some less fortunate children, then I absolutely respect that and I take my hat off to him. So let's see what he has to say now and we'll just come with our analysis.
I'm not raising black children. I'm raising children. I'm not raising black men, I'm raising men. And whether you are black or you are white, no matter what race that you are, there are certain things about being a man and being a good man when it comes to character and integrity and safeguarding the helpless and sticking up for those who need it and being a good man of reputation. None of that has to do with skin color. Everything has to do with the character of the man. And like I said, it's probably not an answer that some people would say is important, but that's where the world has gone, where we think that the most important thing about us is our skin color or our gender or our sex.
Agreed.
Or our political affiliation or all these different identity politics or the identities that we put on each other, when really we're just human beings on this earth. And there are certain things about being a good person that transcend skin color and age and sex and religion and all of those different things.
I love that answer.
It's hard. It's what I feel too. You know, I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's me. It's uniquely, that's how I feel about it. So
Have you had any tough questions as of yet from your 7-year-old?
yeah, you know, I mean, there's questions about skin color, obviously, you know, I mean, because it makes a lot of sense, right? It's like whether, and just a call to action for men, you know, right? We grew up on cowboys and Indians and GI Joes and superheroes and stuff. And we all want to feel like a superhero, right? As the male gene, we want to feel like a superhero. And we are a superhero to our children, right? We are a superhero to our children. We are a godlike figure to our children. And we get that opportunity with each and every one of our children that we have. And it doesn't matter where you're at on the socioeconomic ladder or what you have accomplished or who you are a superhero to them. So yes, when my son sees me and he sees me like a superhero, and he can even watch me on TV, and his kids at school say, your dad's going to beat up Conor McGregor. And so I'm like a superhero to him, yet he knows he can't be exactly like me because of skin color, right? I'm sure in his 7-year-old brain, which really he'll understand someday when he's a little bit older, right? So there's the skin color, you know, difference, obviously.
How do you handle that? I mean, with one-on-one with him?
You know, I think one-on-one, I think it's the beauty of being a man of faith is we were called for a time and a family such as this. This is exactly how God created us to be. This is exactly how my family unit was supposed to be. Before I was even born, this is exactly how it was supposed to be. Before you were even born, he knew that you were chosen for me and mommy. And he knew that you were going to have your skin color, and he knew that I was going to have my skin color. And there's beauty in that, and it's unique to a lot of people. It might be foreign to some.
All right, I will be honest. Like, he's speaking with a lot of passion. He's bringing God into, into the mix, saying that this is what God had intended for me to, accomplish and sell in the world, to have these kids. He's talking with a lot of, he's talking with a lot of passion. It doesn't seem like it's coming from a bad place. He seems like he literally just genuinely loves the kids that happen to be black, and he wants to be the best role model for them. It doesn't seem like a Hollywood woke stunt of going to somewhere in Zambia and getting some black kids over and saying, "Hey guys, I have 2 black kids now." I'm very woke. He's not doing that. He's being very real. He's being very honest, and he seems very transparent as well. So yeah, but yeah, let's see what still comes out of this.
Some people, but is absolutely beautifully God ordained, and it's something that is going to be a part of our testimony. It's something that is making impacts through a butterfly effect that we don't even understand yet. Whether it be people that see me from afar, people that see the way that I love you, the differences that we do have compared to if we did have the exact same skin color, the exact same eyes, and the exact same hair. This is exactly the way God created you, and you were created in God's image, and you were created for so much more than you can ever think or imagine. And God has commissioned me and chosen me to be your dad. And the most important thing that I can be is your dad. And I tell him every single night, I whisper it into his ear. And he probably gets tired of hearing it, but I thank him. I'm like, I thank you so much for being my son, and I'm so proud to be your dad. And I just think I didn't get that as much when I was a kid. My parents loved me so much, but they didn't really make me feel like I could run through that wall. They didn't really make me feel like I could go across those county lines and go anywhere across the world and do anything I want to. And I want my children to unlock something inside of themselves to make them believe that they can do anything. And then I pray that prayer over them every single night. You are Hap Chandler. You are Ace Chandler. When you walk into a room, people take notice. When you speak, people listen. When you walk in a certain direction, people will follow. You are a child of God. You are the head, not the tail. You are above and not beneath. And you are chosen for a time such as this. And I am so proud to be.
I'm going to be very honest. His speech is definitely moving me. I want to know what Black Twitter has, to say about this, because this is a very heartfelt speech. This he seems very genuine. Okay, cool. You can't believe what everyone says. Everyone's motives might be different. Okay, agreed. But, he's come with good points. He's bringing God into the reason why he's, making the decisions he's making, with these kids. A lot of Black people are religious, either Christian or Muslim. So, they should understand this. This is a man of God that's saying this. This isn't some Hollywood. And what makes it crazy is the Hollywood stars that go and, have kids and bring kids from all parts of the world just to prove their wokeness. They never get brought up on it. But when this guy is giving you, breaking down his childhood, breaking down a childhood in which he wants to give, his kids that happen to be Black, his Black kids, breaking down, the psychological element, the spiritual element, the physical element, him going out to compete, that element of bringing home the money, the financial gain and reward element that he wants to pass on to his kids. Somehow he's demonized and he shouldn't be doing what he's doing. When this is clearly a man, that follows God, and he's speaking of all the reasons as to why he wants to make these decisions. Why should he be, torn down? Do you just want to see the Black kids be brought up in in what kind of household? A household that wants to keep it real, a household that wants to spoon feed him with BLM morning till night and doesn't give him a chance to formulate his own thoughts. What kind of household do you want these kids to be brought up in? Because this seems like a decent household. This seems like a household of a man that's, clearly God-fearing, emotional, even as he's making his speech, and wants to make a real change and impact, and he's just getting bashed by the Black community. The same Black community that will go out to, a rapper's concert and listen to destruction in a Black community, the same Black community that will go out and watch the Real Housewives, watch these rappers watch these drill artists, they'll go out and watch the destruction in the black community. We'll not say nothing about abortion, which I'll get onto later on, but then we'll have all the energy for someone like a Mike Chandler.
Be your father, and the best thing that we can do is pour into these kids, because if I could be a superhero to him, but somehow that superhero believes in him more than the superhero believes in himself, then what can't he accomplish, And it's so much bigger and so much deeper and so much more impactful than our differences, our skin color, the things that are different about us, because we're so much more the same than we are different.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. Very good speech. Let's go straight into the comments anyway. Let's see what the people are having to say about this. Okay, so first comment. Why did he adopt black children in the first place? It has 5.6 thousand likes. It's been retweeted 230 times, commented 305 times. So he can't adopt black children is what you're trying to say. You would rather the children, let's say, have a less fortunate life, a life of pain, suffering, and misery. Not saying that they would have had that, but I'm saying, is that what you'd rather? Is that the alternative that you'd rather see? Or wouldn't you just rather see a superstar here who's making money, he's financially, decent, from what I hear from UFC stars? Not all of them, I do hear they're underpaid, but he's financially well off from how it seems. And wouldn't you rather him, take care of these kids and, teach them about principle, teach them about morals, teach them about a high spirituality? What do you mean, why did he adopt black children in the first place? I don't get that. And then 5.6 thousand people like it. Woke people like it. And these are people, I'm sure if you check all of these people, these are probably people that say, I believe in Jesus Christ. I believe in helping. I believe in, treating those the way I want to be treated. He's treating the kids the way he wanted to be treated. He said he didn't even get that from his parents. He's saying that his parents, when he was young, his parents did give him some good moral support, but they never made him believe that he was Superman and a superhero. But he wants his kids to, look at him as a superhero so they can feel like, superheroes. You need to break this mentality of this person needs to struggle and have it hard, so he can be black, or they can be, or the children can be black. Mike Chandler's children can be black. You need to get out of this mindset. It's about giving, it's about sharing, it's about love, it's about being real and authentic. Remember I said, if it's him doing it for the right reasons, I support that. But if it's one of these woke Hollywood stars that are going over and just trying to be woke and they're just doing it based off of our cameras watching me, or I'm going to get, this is good for press, I don't support that. Do you understand the difference there? So this is where I'm going with it. Okay, so second comment. Most of the replies are, but how would they survive racism? The larger crime here is being black while robbed of blackness. He's robbing them too, not just failing to protect. He is both cheating these two boys out of cultural identity and leaving them unprepared for the world. It has 5.5 thousand likes. Retweets 430 and comments 294. So people are clearly gravitating to that. It's a top comment. How is he cheating them out of being black? This is what I'm trying to say. Well, what does it mean? Why can't he just teach them principles? Why can't he just teach them, how to be a good person? Why does he need to suffer to be black? I don't get this. Why he needs to suffer to be black. And also, if you want to hold that mentality, then why don't you hold the same people destroying the black community? Why don't you hold them accountable? You'll go to their concert morning, afternoon, and night. You'll support them. You'll stream them on Spotify. You'll comment and like their posts on Instagram. You'll do their TikTok dances. All of this, you never hold them accountable. And what did they preach? What did they give back to the black community? All they're doing is taking from the black community. They're taking your money. And what are they giving back? They're giving back, F these chicks. Be a pimp like me. Go and get the ops. And this is what you're bumping. And you don't hold no rapper accountable. I see him. That's what you mean. You'd rather see them suffer, but then you'll say you're pro-black. You'd rather see these two kids suffer, but then I'm pro-black. But then someone's doing the work, someone's doing God's work, someone's trying to lead them to a better life, and you're saying, nah, don't rob them of their blackness, leave them. Don't even help. Can you see how the liberals are so anti-black? They'd rather see these black kids have a hard time and a rough time. Third comment, white privilege is being able to pretend as if race and racism doesn't exist in an inherently racist country. This liar intentionally adopted 2 black children. How did he know the children were black if race doesn't exist? 10,000 likes, 680 reposts and or retweets, and 252 comments. So people are clearly feeling this again. So Tazdi, I just want to, bring up and draw up just one fact real quick, because you're clearly a woke person that cares about black life. So we need to make sure that you care about black life all over the board and you're not just selective choosing. I know you're selective choosing, but I want to bring something up to you that should worry you way more than Mike Chandler adopting 2 black kids. Let me bring up some statistics right now. Okay, so we're going to look at 3 case studies in regards to abortion of black life in America. The reason why I have to look and vary my case studies because people say, oh no, that's not trusted, that's not trusted. So 3. The first one is actually going to be from congress.gov. I believe this was in 2015. I want to focus the attention mainly on abortion. So let's start reading. Abortion is the leading cause of death for African Americans. In 2008, black women had abortions at a rate of 3.4 times higher than white women. In 2008, black women received 30% of abortions, even though African Americans are only 12.6% of the population. Don't worry, I'm bearing into mind that the 2008 financial crash, it could have been a hard time for people, but still, I know that's what happened in 2008. There was a financial crash and a recession, I get that, but this is still worrying statistics, regardless of however you want to take it. Let's continue to read. Over their lifetime, black women average 1.6 more pregnancies than white women, but are 5 times more likely to have pregnancies that end in abortion. More than 16 million black babies have died by abortion since 1973. By the way, this study was 2015, so around 9 years ago, 10 years ago. So up until 2015. Approximately 360,000 preborn black babies are aborted every year, nearly 1,000 a day. Let's move on to the second case study. Okay, so second case study is from the Ohio Senate. It came out in October the 18th, 2023, so it's much more recent as of last year. So let's read. The black community accounts for just over 13% of Ohio's population, yet according to the Ohio Department of Health in 2002, 48.4% of abortions performed in Ohio were on black women. Almost 50% at only 13% of the population. Black babies in Ohio are 6 times more likely to be aborted than white babies. Third and final case study is from Anglicans for Life, and let's start reading the points. 1 out of 3 black babies, 800 every day, are aborted. 34% of black babies were aborted in 2017. 61.3 million babies have died from abortion in America, in USA, since 1973. And 19.4 million were conceived in black American women, 78% of Planned Parenthood. Now, in my quick evaluation of this topic in regards to Mike Chandler, why am I bringing out 3 case studies in regards to abortion of black babies every year since 1973? Because so much black life has been lost. Millions, we're talking a third, almost 20 million, and there were 60 million abortions. And 20 million was of black American women, and they're of such a small percentage of the US population, and they're aborting at that level. That is a huge red flag in regards to black life that's being lost in the womb. And you're worrying about Mike Chandler, who is adopting and giving 2 black kids a better life. I just want to know where the sense is in all of this. Do you want to be woke to Mike Chandler, but you don't want to be woke to these facts? You want to be woke to Mike Chandler, but you don't want to be woke to, black violence. You want to be woke to Mike Chandler, but you don't want to be woke to, rappers, perpetuating violence and, the wrong ideology, in their music videos. You want to be woke to Mike Chandler, but you don't want to be woke to the real issues that destroy the black community. This is very unfortunate. I wish it wasn't the case. I wish the black community could forget about someone like a Mike Chandler, and say, okay, cool, that's happening, that's 2 kids, cool, but what about the millions here? You can't be woke with 2 kids. What about the millions? What are you doing to ensure that this, doesn't keep arising, the statistics doesn't keep getting worse? This is the main problem. People are taking time out of their day to go and comment and tell him he has no right. But they won't look at these statistics of black kids that go and say, hey, we need to do something about it. This is absolutely unacceptable. I'll never understand. Anyway, guys, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you at the next video. Peace.